Welcome back to our channel, guys. In today's video, we're talking about 6 accounts that you need to have by the time you turn 30.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.
Starting out with number 1, just about everybody should have this, is a checking account.
Yeah.
This is where you're going to set up direct deposit, where you're probably going to pay most of your bills from. It's just a basic account, just about everybody should have. Should be in most banks, no fees. If you go to a credit union, no minimums. And that's usually our thoughts, is to look at credit unions because, again, no fees, no minimums, nothing to worry about. Easy, plain, simple first one, have a checking account.
All right, moving right into number 2 is a savings account, but not just any normal savings account. We're going to recommend a high yield savings account. And really the only difference there is you're going to be earning a little bit more interest towards your money. So let's say, you get a normal savings account and you're earning, 0.1% interest. So, at the end of the year, you get your penny. Well, a high yield savings account, while it's definitely not anything crazy, it's not really an investment, could be higher. It's sometimes up to like 5-6% sometimes. So that, helps you combat inflation a little bit more. And this would be a great place to put your emergency fund, something you guys have probably heard on this channel before if you've been tuning in.
Definitely.
But this is really where you can save a lot of that money because a high yield savings account is still very liquid. It's easy to access these funds. There's not really too much risk involved or any risk at all.
Yeah, really.
Because it's just backed by the bank. So this is a good place to have that emergency fund. And remember, guys, an emergency fund just being at the beginning, let's say at least $1,000, but really 3 to 4 months of expenses saved. This would be a great place to put that.
And while it's just sitting there waiting for an emergency to happen, why not, just like Taylor said, earn a better interest rate, earn a higher yield, I should say. Because that 0.1 or 0.01%, plus sometimes they have fees, that's ridiculous. Go and earn that 4 or 5. I think it got up to like 5.5, 5.7, whatever percent on a lot of these online banks, like Ally Bank or one of those. It just sits there like a normal savings account, but it earns you more money. Great option to have that emergency fund. And then next, number 3 is going to be just a retirement account in general. You want to start planning for retirement as soon as you can. I know a lot of people in their 20s are like, I got too much to worry about. I'm not going to retire for 40 years. That's something I'll worry about later. Plan for it right away. So biggest time, or the most common place a lot of people see this, is with their employer. Their employer will offer a 401k and a 401k match. You want to get at least that match if possible. Take out enough of your salary to get whatever they're matching, because at that point, it's just free money that they're giving you by matching that amount. And then outside of that, you can move to an IRA, which is another option, individual retirement account. And that's something you'll do all by yourself. But the 401k with your employer is where you want to start for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And hey, if you're listening to the news or anything lately, they keep talking about pushing this retirement age further and further back into the 70s and everything. So either way, the sooner you start, and we've talked about this before, is the power of compounding is really remarkable once you see it later on down the line. The sooner you start, really just a couple years makes such a tremendous difference by the time you reach retirement age. So guys, start now. Like Ryan said, 401k, free money, IRA, that's your own personal thing. Usually when you're starting out in your 20s, typically just a general thing, and of course do your own research and find out what works best for you. But Roth IRA is the way a lot of people go. That's how we both went. But again, that's just us. It worked for our situation and everything. Do your own research. But yeah, retirement accounts are a great way to first start investing.
And we have a whole video on 401k, IRA, Roth, traditional, whole video on that. So if you want to go check that out. But to quickly sum it up, you guys are lucky you get the Cliff Notes. The Roth basically is after tax. So you've already been taxed on that money. You can put it into this account and it grows tax-free. Traditional is just before tax. So before you get the government taking the money out, you put it in there. But when you pull it out in retirement, then you get taxed. So it's just different the way they set up, or the way you pull the money out.
It's all about factoring what tax bracket you're in and all that kind of stuff. It's a whole little thing, but check out that video if you want more details.
This video just means have that account.
All right, guys, and kind of going along with that in the investment kind of mindset is what a lot of people probably haven't heard of, and it's an HSA, or a health savings account. Now, this kind of goes along with your health plan and everything, oftentimes, again, through your employer and everything. So it's kind of a matter of, what you pick and what works best for your situation and your family and everything. So there are variables, of course. But this is a great thing because it also has, great tax benefits to it and grows tax-free and everything. So while you may be like, well, I'm young and healthy, do I really need a health savings account? Well, it turns into a retirement account by the end of it. So this is another great way to invest.
But yeah, basically the concept of it is a savings account that you put money into, that it allows you to set aside money, almost like an emergency fund, for health-related emergencies. But so many things apply to that, more than you would think. It's not just surgery. Many things apply. And you can use that money. And if you use those things from that savings account directly to pay for medical, it's tax-free. You can use it without being taxed on that money. And then if you don't use it, it'll just keep rolling over year after year. And just like Taylor said, it'll compound, and you can actually invest that money, like actually take it out of the savings account and invest it in the market, and it'll compound over time. And if you never use it or you don't use some of it, that compounding and all that turns into a full-blown retirement account. So it's a fantastic account that for many reasons you can use it for your health-related emergencies or as an investment account. It's a fantastic option. And if you're really lucky, like my company, you can actually, a lot of companies offer it, but they'll actually match a portion that you put in. So you put in some, and they'll give you more free money. Yeah, exactly. Which is awesome. So again, for sure, more free money towards investment, towards emergencies, just all around good account to have.
Yeah. And I know some people that pick an HSA by accident, really, they're not even real 100% sure what it is, but it's just because it oftentimes takes the least amount out of your paycheck versus some of these high premiums for health insurance. So you may have an HSA right now, not even realize it. So congratulations. But it is a great thing to look into. You know, changing your whole medical once you already kind of have it, you may have to wait for a certain time with your employer, but don't think that like, oh, I'm stuck. You can oftentimes change certain parts of the year. Just talk to your HR and everything.
Yeah, there's stipulations along with it. We don't want to go too detailed, but there's one big catch, I guess you could say, is you have to have a high deductible plan. So just look into that, see if that fits you and your family. Obviously, it's not a recommendation. This is just information we found we thought we'd share.
Yeah. I don't know, though. You know, hey, it's all on you guys.
All right. And the next one, number 5, kind of an account, but just in general to have credit cards. I think Dave Ramsey is currently running here to punch me right now for saying that. But credit cards in general, they can be a very useful tool. They have tons of protections. The point systems that a lot of them offer are fantastic. All of this is if you use credit cards as a tool. If you want to hear us talk details about credit cards, check out almost all of our other videos. Somehow it comes up in one way or another. We have a billion different credit card videos in general, but you have to use them wisely for them to be this tool. But credit cards aren't really an account, but just a good thing to have.
Yeah, and of course, guys, credit cards are great for building a credit score if used responsibly again. But another thing to keep in mind is a lot of households are facing credit card debt. I mean, the national credit card debt amongst Americans is over $1 trillion at this point. I think the average household over 5,000. So it is a very dangerous game. Now, there are plenty of people that are using it responsibly, and it's a great tool. You know, like we preach responsible or financial responsibility and everything. So just be aware of that. All right. And finally, guys, is another individual brokerage account for investments and things like that. There are a ton of different brokerage accounts you can choose from. You know, we have a video on choosing the right broker for you. Like, I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard of like Robinhood, but tons of people to choose from: Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Robinhood, Webull. I mean, the list goes on and on. Finding the one that works best for you, or really a lot of people, it comes down to the kind of the interface and how user friendly it is. So these are all things to factor in. But hey, if you've maxed out that IRA, you're investing in your 401k and all these other things, because a lot of these do have limits, guys. But hey, you got some extra money left over, and you want to be smart and responsible, and maybe not just blow it on a new car. That's one of our biggest things. Don't buy a new car, guys. Don't new cars. But throw it in an investment account.
Historically, the stock market has returned above 10% on average per year, which is fantastic. And again, that's what we talked about earlier. Savings account is pretty much low risk, and you get that 4 to 5%, but you won't get the returns like a 10% in the stock market, or some years way more than that. But there's also some years that you get way less, and there is risk in the stock market. So usually with more risk is more reward. That's how it works. But with this is, again, you've already gotten the free money from your 401k. You've already got the free money from hopefully your HSA, if that's a thing. You've already invested and maxed out your Roth IRA. Now you're looking like, I still have excess money. I still want to invest.
I'm balling.
I still want to keep pushing that.
Must be nice.
I want to set myself up forever. My kids set them up. Then you're going to be looking at these brokerage accounts and all of that. A lot of them these days are free to download, free to open an account, free to trade. So you don't have all these fees to worry about. And you're realistically going to keep it simple. Invest in low cost, so very little fees or low fees, index funds, and ETFs. You want to keep this simple. Don't overcomplicate it. And you just want to keep building, investing as much as you can, as early as you can. We harp on time is the biggest asset of compound interest. And you will be amazed if you start soon. Even if it's a small amount, $20, great, fantastic. Love to see it. $50, fantastic. You just want to keep going and keep building.
$20 at 20 is oftentimes going to be more than $50 at 50.
Oh, absolutely.
And people get confused by that. Like, how is that possible? Power of compounding, guys.
Yeah.
But, all these things are just kind of tips. You don't have to have all these accounts by any means. Don't be gauging your success and like, oh, well, I'm missing one of these accounts. I've never even heard of an HSA.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's
people's,
what we're here for.
Yeah, a lot of people's financial journeys are different than other people's. And we didn't go into every little detail of each one of these accounts, guys. So don't get confused. Do your own research. A lot of these things have certain little tax implications like, oh, an early withdrawal does this and that and this. We didn't want to get too much into the weeds here because it's very easy to with all these accounts. So, do your own research. But if you have any other accounts, you're like, oh, you forgot this one. How could you?
Yeah.
Leave it down in the comments below. Feel free to correct us and add on.
We're always trying to learn too. So don't forget that. Never forget that. We're always lifelong learning right here.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, if you guys have any questions or comments, let us know topics in the comments, anything like that. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.